I was born into a family of line, almost like every Igbo family out there. My dad took the go forth and multiply commandments from the scriptures quite seriously. We all look like twins because we are 2 years apart from each other. I'm the third child, a proud Dokoro as I was taught to be. Somewhere along the line, I guess I missed the mark. I'm fashioned to be someone, but I'm blamed for my behavior. This is all I know about living: freedom, ruggedness, and hustle. EMEKA, don't be surprised. This is not a story of a lady who was harassed and looked down upon. This is a story of a forgotten young boy who grew up to be a man that everyone expects great things from, but never pays attention to. I call us the forgotten. We are the ones who are told to be strong, but it's a shell to hide how soft and open we are. We are hurt, but it is seen as training on how to become a better man. Some even say men don't cry. Sometimes I wish that my parents had protected me as they did my sisters because we matter too. This is becoming too emotional, but I'm a man. I'm not meant to be soft. This is my story. Mother has been praying for a male child. After she had my sisters, when she became pregnant for the third time, she prayed even harder. When I was born to the Okoro family, my father, Mr. Amadi, celebrated like never before. The celebration went on for a week with non-stop music and alcohol. Everybody was happy because at last, Mr. Amadi had a successor. Mind you, I was not the last born. After 2 years, my mom gave birth again, and she continued until we were 7 at home. At the age of 5, I watched how strict and careful my mother was with my elder sisters. They were always told to wash the plates, clean the house, and be home on time. I was always happy because I didn't have that attention on myself. Even as a young boy, I knew that I had a certain level of freedom over them. I wasn't told to do any house chores, and it didn't matter where I went because I was not my sisters. At that age, I felt entitled, but I was simply not sane. At 7, I was getting into fights in school, coming back home with injuries and torn clothes, crying to my mother. Whenever I did, she consoled me, asked about the issue, and comforted me. But that grew old fast. My mom had 3 other girls to take care of. I had to become a man quickly and handle my own issues. At this point, I turned to my friends. Honestly, the streets taught me more than I learned at home and even in school, because that is where I spent most of my time. Who cared? I wasn't needed at home for any chores and wasn't prohibited from entering any uncle's or auntie's house as a boy. What could happen to me? But mommy, how I wish I could tell you that it's different. Uncle taught me the ways of the world. I was 10 years old when I started feeling like the man of the house. My dad was never around. He was a businessman who left early in the morning by 7 a.m. and came back very late, around 9 or 10 p.m. As a traditional Igbo man, he will never miss any business day, including Sundays. He would drive us to church and then go to the market. I would not blame my father. Of course, he was trying to provide for us and make sure we lacked nothing. I just wished he had made time for me. While my sisters had my mother to look up to, my 10-year-old self needed my dad in the same way. But he was always busy providing. And that is what I learned as a man. I'm meant to provide for my family. I had very close friends in school, Femi and Ikechukwu. I call Femi Fems and Ikechukwu IK. We lived in the same neighborhood, so we were always together. At the end of the school day, while my sisters walked home together, I always walked with my friends. Ikechukwu came from a family of four. He just had one older sister who was not always around, and his parents were always busy in the market. So his home became our meeting point and also an escape for Femi because his father always come back home drunk from his bad day at work, beating his mother and laying his frustrations on her. Being a kid, all Femi could do was run away to avoid becoming the victims of his father's abuse. Fast forward to when I was in J3. Emmy, did you bring food to school today? Femi asked me. No, I answered. Honestly, I miss the days where my mom gave me lunch to school. I really enjoyed it, but I can't complain. I'm a big boy now. What me and my friends started doing was leaving to school during lunch break and going to one Auntie Lara's house where Femi took us. I used to wonder why she was so nice to us, even though she knew we were supposed to be in school. She never told us otherwise. She was our favorite. I noticed that Femi always stayed back at her place even after we left. I understood that she was always nice to him and let him stay because of his father. But little did I know. I was so innocent then. I so wish that my innocence was protected, like how my sister's was protected. Auntie Lara. Let me tell you about Auntie Lara. She was a young leader and a chorister in our church. Mother always sang her praises and told my sisters to try to be like Auntie Lara. She loves and fears the Lord. She always goes to church on time, not like my sisters that wake up for 7:30 by 7:30 for 7 a.m. service, and by the time they get to church, they will be sharing the grace. This has been our wake-up call every Sunday morning at home. My mom does not joke with Auntie Lara. But why is it that I feel uncomfortable in her house? She always wears short clothes. So one day I asked my mother, Mommy, if Auntie Lara fears the Lord, why then is she wearing short things at home? My mom looked at me and clapped her hands together and said, Look at this small boy. What do you even know? And besides, she is in her house. When do you see her with short things? She asked. I immediately shut my mouth before I revealed that we go to her house during school hours. I heard it somewhere. I answered. People will always talk and try and spoil people's good name, my mother replied. Forget about those people and come and get for me something in Malam's shop. I closed the conversation because it was clear that my mom will not believe anything against Auntie Lara. So one day, when we were coming back from a trip to Auntie Lara's house, I told my friends, see, I don't want to go to Auntie Lara's house again. Femi looked at me and asked me why, and I said, anytime we go to her house, she always wears short things, and I don't like the way she always tries to touch Ike and me, even though I told her to stop. I do not like it. She's still touching Ike. Femi looked at me and said, what do you know? You are a man, behave like it. Looking at him, my 13-year-old mind could not comprehend what he was saying. Besides, he added, did Ike tell you that he did not like it? We both looked at Ike and Ike looked away. He has always been quiet and shy type. And when he still did not say anything, I asked him again, Ike, did you like it? He said, no, I really don't like it. You see, I told Femi. Oya Femi, tell me, did you like it? He reluctantly said, I don't know. Let's just stop going to Auntie Lara's house, I added, and we all agreed. Then Ike suggested, why don't we go to Uncle Peter's house? Uncle Peter, Femi asked. Why should we go to his house? Femi asked again. He has PS in his house. and he always allowed me to play with his peers. Ike answered. I've not played peers before, I said, and asked Femi, have you? No, I have not, he replied. Let's go so that we can be playing peers. I replied, and we all agreed that we are going to go tomorrow. After that day, we stopped going to Auntie Lara's house and started going to Uncle Peter's house. He became someone I looked up to. He's a man and he provided for himself and lived the way he wanted to be. I craved that freedom. After some time, we stopped seeing Femi regularly. And when we asked him, he gave different excuses why he would not go with us to Uncle Femi's house. But me and Ike did not mind. At least we enjoyed the game we were playing at Uncle Femi's house. We had no idea that Femi was still going to Auntie Lara's house. It was like he can never stop. One fateful Sunday morning, we were busy preparing for Sunday service. My mom said, I'm going to miss Lara. Today is her send forth. Where is Auntie Lara going to? I asked my mother. She's relocating. She got a better job in another state. God have blessed her for all her hard work, she answered. So she's not going to come back again? I said happily. Why are you happy? Everyone is going to miss her, she added. I replied, nothing. That Sunday, I made sure I danced more than everybody in church. I was happy that Auntie Lara was leaving. At least, Femi will not be sad anymore. He will start playing with us again. But Femi felt differently. A week after she left, it was like Femi was sick. He hardly smiles and always gloomy. Whenever we asked him what happened, he will not say anything. Then one day, when we were all in Ike's house, Femi was also not looking good. Then Ike asked Femi, Femi, are you okay? I have noticed that since Auntie Lara left, you hardly play. You look sad. Did anything happen? Ike asked. Femi still kept quiet. Look, Femi, tell us what is going on. Is it your father? You promised we will not tell anyone. I added. After a while, Femi broke down and started crying. I really miss Auntie Lara. Now I have nowhere to stay. I know I can't go home, he said amidst tears. You can always come to my place and Ike's house to stay. We know that you don't like going home. Or we can even go to Uncle Peter's house together, I added. Femi, what are you not saying? Because these tears shows it's more than you are saying. Ike asked him. Nothing, he replied. What? I asked, looking at both of them, confused. Tell us. We will not tell anyone. Here you know we are like brothers. I just missed Auntie Lara, he said. I missed what she used to do to me. She taught me on how to be a man. And now I miss her. Because I can't be a man without her, Femi explained. How can we become men? I asked. What does she always do to you? I added. You will not understand. She, in fact, forget it. She what? I asked. She just taught me stuff and don't tell anyone about it. But I want to do it again, Femi finally said. No matter how me and Ike asked him what that stuff was, Femi did not open up. Although me and Ike did not understand what Femi was trying to say. But now I know that she got him addicted to what was his main problem currently, and that is sex. He is called a player. He's called a heartbreaker. He's called a lot of things, but no one have tried or to ask what got him corrupted. What some ladies called being molested, he did it willingly because that is what he was told was right. I wish I could tell my 13-year-old self that he needed help more than he ever did. It was a cry for help that I wish I understood. When I was 14, my mother became pregnant again with her seventh child. The atmosphere of my home began to change. Things was not going as good as it were for my father in his business anymore. So now he stays longer for his business, sometimes days, sometimes weeks. This got my mother so frustrated. And as a good Christian, she could not get rid of the baby. It is a gift from God, like she always told us. But it seems like she does not like this gift very much. Now, I was SS1 and I now understood the life. To end the questions in your mind, I'm no longer innocent. I have not done anything bad. I just mean that I know what Auntie Lara was doing to Femi. Don't be surprised. I learned all this from Uncle Peter. That is another chapter of my life. Like I said earlier, Uncle taught me the ways of the world. And that uncle was Uncle Peter. After Auntie Lara left, we all became so close to Uncle Peter. He was a cool guy. As time went on, we became his errand boys. He would send us to get a lot of things. I still remember the day I opened up and asked Uncle Peter the question that have been in my mind ever since Femi told me what Auntie Lara was doing to him. And when I asked Uncle Peter this question, him and Femi both laughed at me. But I really wanted to know what Uncle Peter was doing. I really want to know what Auntie Lara was doing to Femi. Femi and Uncle Peter became fast friends because Uncle Peter provided Femi with what he craved for with Auntie Lara, a means to satisfy himself. Then Uncle Peter told Femi, come back by 10 p.m. with EMEKA. By 10 p.m., Uncle, what is happening that late at night? I asked him. You will see, he answered. It's better you see it than we tell you. If you want to know what Auntie Lara is doing to Peter, come by that time. So by 9:45 p.m., I was already looking for a way to make excuse to leave the house by 10 because I really wanted to come in. But I needed not to do any hard work. My mother was heavily pregnant. I was always in her room sleeping. My sisters can't do without zero. So no one noticed where I went to. I met Femi outside the gate of my house. And we both went to Uncle Peter's house. We did follow the front door as usual. And I found this strange, but I kept quiet. We went through the back door, went to the corridor, and sat next to Uncle Peter's room. Uncle Peter had a female guest, and he took the female guests to his room. He did not close the door. And through the curtains, Femi and I saw things children our age should not be exposed to in that manner. Femi was seriously enjoying himself, while I had mixed feelings. I don't understand what I'm saying, and all those feelings I'm getting is new to me. After that, we both went home silently. I now understood what Auntie Lara was doing to me. And I guess now I'm a man. The next day, we both went to Uncle Peter's house without IK. And I asked Uncle Peter, I'm now a man, right? He laughed and said, we had to practicalize this first. Only Femi was the man. Then he told me that Femi would steal money from his mother to save up for a girlfriend. While we were going back home, we saw Ike on the street with a pack of cigarettes. Now we asked him, Ike, where did he get that from? He was scared for a while and he said one of Uncle Peter's friends asked him to get it for him. We didn't ask further because we had a secret of our own. That was how my shy and quiet friend became a chain smoker. He was exposed to it and he was not told better. How I wish I had paid attention. How I wish I have paid more attention. Oh, how I wish. After we were done with secondary school, we became worse than we were, and now the masters of the game. I no longer go home on time, and I'm always in Uncle Peter's house, doing what I'm not supposed to be doing. I will steal from my father's shop just to get money to fill among. My mother noticed these changes as she sometimes finds some cash in my room. When she asks, I would tell her all sorts of lies. She tried to advise me, but mommy, don't you think it's late? It's too late. I have tasted the world and I'm loving it. And nobody is criticizing me. Society is not telling me anything for it. This is what the society have taught me. And I'm a man. Femi became a ladies' man. And since IK was too shy to speak to a girl, he found solace in smoking. And is always trying to look for opportunities to steal and smoke the more. While I found new ways to steal from my father, this got worse and I started to wonder how three innocent boys got to this stage. Mr. Man, who do you come to see? The police officer asked him. I have been waiting for some time. I want to see my friend, I answered. Currently, I'm sitting in this police station to visit Femi. He got arrested by one Alhaji in our town. According to the story, he was caught with the Alhaji's daughter in an hotel. I'm now wondering what Femi is going to do, according to what the police told me. The Alhaji is a high-ranking police officer, and it will be very difficult to bail him out. Even his family have not visited. Femi's mother finally ran away from home, and his father is not stable enough to even remember today's date. Ikechukwu became a drug addict and eventually became a trafficker. According to him, it was easier to get the drugs that way. So we never get to see him. I have been in my thoughts for a while now, trying to find the point where all these changes happen. We all grew up in different households, so the circumstances may differ, but the society contributed equally. So who is to blame now? As I was walking home, I made a decision to do better, not just for myself, but for others. I will try and make an impact and protect every young boy I come across. They should feel seen and important and also counseled the right way. I know you're still wondering, what then happened to me? But that would be when I'm left to my thoughts again. I'm a busy woman. I need to get to business.